It's time to look at some new Minecraft seeds, including some great options for your next survival world, a really tall woodland mansion, a continent island with every biome on it, a never-ending mineshaft, and much, much more. Let's go ahead and see what we have today. This Cherry Grove Circle seed is going to look quite different in the upcoming 26.3 update. The middle area turns into dappled forest. But before we get to that, here in 26.2, we get that plains biome down here with the tall elevated Cherry Grove cliffs all around. We also get some cool looking dripstone cave openings on the cliffs too, which of course will also be there in the next update, along with the dappled forest. I think this looks pretty cool with all the red, orange, and yellow leaves that go along with the spruce trees. Just something new and different to the game. So the question is, what do you like better? This here with the dappled forest in the middle, or do you like the current version with the plains biome in the middle of the Cherry Grove better? The Frozen Peaks Caldera near spawn in this seed is just incredible. It has both a village and a woodland mansion in the middle of it. Just to remind you, I play on Java Edition. Seeds on Java Edition and Bedrock Edition have the same biome generation, but structure generation and locations are different. So just remember, you'll see things like this mountain ring on Bedrock Edition, but the structures will only be there on Java Edition. You spawn into the world right outside of the mountains, and from certain angles, you may be able to see this farm that generates on top of the mountains. I always like when villages generate next to mansions, and having it in the middle of a caldera just makes it extra cool. Sometimes when villages generate so close to mansions, you'll be able to find buildings generating inside of the mansion, but this one just has some pass. But yeah, all around, a really cool looking area here. This Minecraft seed has a spawn on a big continent island that is pretty cool. There's tons of biomes across the entire island, with the only ones missing being the mangrove swamp, old growth pine taiga, old growth spruce taiga, and the taiga is on a little cliff island just off the side of the continent. The island is pretty big. From north to south, it stretches over 5,000 blocks, and from east to west, it stretches between 2,000 and about 4,500 blocks in different places. That makes the island a total area of over 10,300,000 blocks. You spawn into the world here in a plains biome, and a short travel north will bring you to a snowy village. And actually, the island has almost every structure too, it's only missing the woodland mansion and swamp hut. So you'll find a bunch of villages, a bunch of both temple variants, igloos, outposts, ruined portals, a couple strongholds underground, which by the way, this spot with the amethyst geode just looks really awesome. But yeah, every structure you'll possibly need except the mansion and hut. My favorite thing about this continent personally is how the biomes generate. As I said, you have the plains biome at spawn, and the entire middle section of the island is those moderate plains and forest type biomes. And then at the top, the north of the island, we get the cold, snowy type biomes, and at the bottom, the south is all the warm, hot, desert and badlands type biomes. Obviously, Minecraft generates biomes next to each other based on temperatures and climates, but it's just cool how they're laid out in sections across the island like they are. Overall, just a really great continent island seed with lots for you to check out across it. There's a lot around the spawn that makes this Minecraft seed worth checking out. First, we've got the Mountainside village that you spawn right next to. The mountains themselves don't look all that great, but nothing some terraforming can't fix. And the village is abandoned, so maybe you could take on the process of reviving it. There's a little crater here that opens up to the surface with a house down at the bottom that looks pretty awesome. Then we get this little cave opening here that leads down to this huge cave with an exposed mineshaft. I always love the look of mineshafts hanging down from the tops of caves with the chains. It doesn't stop here at the mineshaft though, because the cave leads down to an exposed ancient city. I mean, it's just great having such an easy path to an ancient city like this, and looking up and seeing the mineshaft is pretty awesome. Also around spawn, you've got some nice plains and meadow areas for some places to build, you've got some forests for some easy access to materials, and there's a giant ruined portal here too. Just lots of things to help out with whatever survival project you may be looking to start off with in this world. This is one of my favorite Pale Garden ring seeds. I mean, of course, we get the elevated Pale Garden with the dark forest down below. There's a little pond down here. You know, the typical Pale Garden ring that I find every so often. But this isn't even the reason it's one of my favorite one of these seeds I found. But rather, right next to it, we almost get another one. but it's more like a half pale garden ring because it stops here and continues on with the dark forest. So we nearly get a double pale garden ring, but not quite. And then right next to that, we get a woodland mansion here too. Just another great thing to have near spawn. Everything combined here just makes me like this seed a lot. This week for my channel members, I created a tutorial on how to find pale garden circle seeds. If you'd like to see that or would like to support the channel a bit extra, just go ahead and click the join button below. As always, thanks so much to all of my channel members and to everyone for all the support on the channel. This is a pretty great starter survival seed if you're new to Minecraft or you want to start a new world. The spawn is here in a nice big plains biome, so you've got lots of space for building and expanding a base area. You have some forest and birch forest nearby for some easy materials, plus there's a village nearby, which is great, and you've got a couple small cherry groves and a ruined portal close by too. After you progress in game a bit, you can go underground near spawn and find a trial chamber, so you can make your way through exploring this. And even further, you could make your way out to this forest and find a stronghold underground as a working end portal, not quite a 12-eye portal, but a working end portal nonetheless, which makes your journey to the end far easier. So yeah, all around a pretty great solid starter seed. I always like finding these really tall woodland mansions. That's no surprise to people who've been watching my content for a while because I've shown plenty of these, but I mean, just look at it from down here, it looks hilarious. The roof of this one is up at Y level 263, and with my clouds set at level 260, I can just run into them. My favorite part of these is the hollowing out of the foundation to create a cave-like area. It always looks pretty cool when this happens. And on this one, you see most of the foundation stretches down to the ground in big cobblestone chunks, but this spot with just a 1-block strip looks kind of funny here. But yeah, these are probably just something I'll never stop looking for because they always look really cool. The woodland mansion at spawn in this seed looks really cool, and really the entire spawn area looks great too. There's lots of different biomes around, with some of the different types of small mountains, and lots of different trees with the dark forest, birch forest, and jungle biomes. We also get this mini ocean biome, which ends up just looking like a river with some mini cliffs around it, but having the ocean ruins here is pretty awesome, I must say. The entrance of the mansion is right along the water, which is kinda interesting, and I like how it's partly buried with the terrain. I especially like how it just kinda looks like we get some trees growing on the roof. Inside, on the first floor, I found some malaise. On the second floor, there are some pieces of terrain, and many of the windows have the views blocked. And the top floor was blocked off for me with a layer of stone, and there's some more of that terrain up here too. Across the water from the mansion, you can find a jungle temple, so another structure near spawn is pretty cool. And of course, having the 2 chests inside is just great. Just a great spawn area all around, especially with that partly buried woodland mansion. There's a few really cool things around the spawn area in this Minecraft seed. First, we spawn into the world right next to this big dripstone crater. I mean, craters like this always look cool, but adding in the dripstone just makes it even better. It also leads down to the deep dark with an opening right to an ancient city. I mean, maybe not the place you want to go early game, but pretty awesome having an easy way to get to it. Back above ground, you've got some pretty nice mountains around. There's these frozen peaks here, but my favorites are the jagged peaks. They could be great as a backdrop for a build here in the meadow or here in the plains. So yeah, some decent potential with this seed. I always love finding Minecraft seeds like this. Just seeing a small piece of land fully surrounded by another biome is really cool, especially when it's the mangrove swamp surrounding it. There is some other land fairly close by, so it's not like completely isolated in a massive mangrove swamp or anything, but it's still really cool being in the plains biome and just seeing the mangroves everywhere. Of course, this one also has this village here, which is great. It's all in the plains except for this one villager who decided they wanted their house in the mangroves for some reason. We get a Fletcher's house, an armorer's house, and a blacksmith, so you can get a bit of loot here. But yeah, pretty cool having this village area surrounded by a mangrove swamp. Like I said, I just always love finding seeds like this. If you didn't know, for every seeds compilation video I make, I also create a post to go with it on my website. It has all the seeds with locations shown for you, plus it has a button to click to easily copy the seed number. After seeing the final 5 seeds in this video, go ahead and click the link in the description or pinned comment to check it out. I found this seed with infinitely repeating, never-ending mineshafts. The spawn of this seed is actually one of my favorites for seeds with these mineshafts, because it's on an island. We get a plains, beach, forest, and taiga on the island, plus there's a spot with a ruined portal and pillager outpost too. The outpost has a cage with an iron golem, and of course, between the two structures you've got a couple of chests for a bit of loot. The ocean around the island has some structures too, of course, like this ocean monument being the closest to the island, and this monument being in a frozen ocean mixed in with the icebergs and a shipwreck. And underground near the island, you can find a trial chamber if that's something you'd want to explore. You can see on the map that there's a couple of options for the lines of mineshafts to explore too, with the island kind of in the middle of them. So you could go west and go under the ocean and find this line of mineshafts to explore through, or you could go east, find this taiga, and go underground to these mineshafts. These ones being down at Deep Slate make them look a bit different than when I usually show these types of seeds, so that's kind of interesting. The mineshafts continue all the way to and past the world border, and they happen because of cave generation repeating with a glitch in this type of seed. No matter how many times I decide to find a seed like this, they always just look really incredible. Well, you've messed up this time. Somehow you crashed your ship into this island. Not sure how you managed to crash it into the island backwards like this, but that's your problem, I'm not even gonna ask. But yeah, now you're stuck here on this island. You've got a nice taiga biome and it's completely surrounded by a beach. You've got some sugarcane, some grass, lots of trees, turtles, and other animals to help you survive on the island. That job of surviving is all up to you now. But I do have to ask, if you were to have your own friend like Wilson, what will its name be? I found this really cool lake village seed here. The spawn of this world is in a forest biome. There's a plains village to the north on the edge of the forest, so you can check this out if you want. But I want to head east, past this weird terrain and the geyser, and past this little sulfur cave, and that's where you'll find the lake. Now, across my time finding and sharing Minecraft seeds, I've shown a ton of these lake villages. In fact, many of you may have been introduced to my content from one of these. But this is one of my favorites I found because the village has 2 blacksmiths. Of course, everyone likes finding blacksmiths for the opportunity to get some loot. There's also a Fletcher's house and tannery in the village too. Of course, the village mostly floating on the water is cool, and having one path connected to the land for easy access is great too. Just all around, a really awesome lake village. You spawn into this Minecraft seed in a really incredible mountain ring. It's made up of some great looking jagged peaks. In the middle, we mostly have meadow biome, plus some grove biome and a small forest. But the best part is that there are 2 villages here. The spawn is actually in this village, just a pretty typical meadow village, and the other village is close by, going up the mountainside. This house on top of the mountain is pretty awesome. This all looks really fantastic, definitely a really great place to spawn into a new world. I found this seed that has every single overworld biome possible on one single continent island. The island itself is not even actually that big at all. From north to south, in most places, it's less than 3,000 blocks across, and from east to west, at most, it's about 3,700 blocks across. So in total, the entire island has an area of over 7,660,000 blocks. But yeah, every single biome is across this island, but that means some of the biomes end up being really small. Like the windswept savanna is super tiny, and the stony peaks, frozen peaks, and cherry grove are too, just to name some of the small biomes. Still, all biomes are on the island, so that's great. Even the dappled forest will be on the island in 26.3. One of my favorite places to check out on the continent is this little jagged peaks Caldera with the mini forest in the middle and a dripstone cave. Plus, I like how we get all of the different village variants too. I mean, just tons to check out on continent islands in general, but having one with all the biomes on it is just fantastic. For some more Minecraft seeds I found, check out one of the videos on screen now. Also, check out the mystery seed on screen now too for a seed I've never shown in a video before. Thanks so much for watching. I'm out of here. See ya.